The healing benefits of guided imagery. Hello, I'm your speaker, Dr. Kathleen B. Covalt. I develop and teach innovative classes on wellness, intuition, and spiritual development topics. I also offer Holy Well Oracle Cards readings with cards I created myself. My Holy Well Oracle Cards readings guide my clients on their path of spiritual evolution and expansion of consciousness. My academic credentials include a doctoral degree in educational psychology with a specialization in transpersonal psychology from Northern Illinois University. In addition, I have a master's degree in psychological counseling from the University of Notre Dame. For more information about me, please visit my Pure Energy Presentations and Intuitive Guidance website. It is at pureenergylady.wixsite.com/presentations. Or you can contact me at pureenergy@ptd.net. In this presentation, you will learn that guided imagery is a technique that can help individuals experience the power of their own minds. Individuals may experience one, several, or all of their inner senses in a guided imagery experience. Guided imagery can be used as a technique for stress reduction, as a method for accessing inner wisdom, and as a tool for performance enhancement and goal achievement. In this presentation, we will focus on how imagery can be a powerful way the mind can communicate with the body to promote healing. So what is guided imagery? Guided imagery is a technique that helps participants experience their own inner mental imagery. A guide who is either physically present or is a recorded voice uses purposefully chosen evocative words to help stimulate the creation of the participant's inner mental imagery. Sometimes music is also used to stimulate the participant's imagery process. The inner mental imagery that participants experience may involve one, several, or all of the inner senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, movement. In Rituals of Healing Using Imagery for Health and Wellness, the authors Jean Achterberg, Barbara Dossi, and Leslie Kolkmeyer reported on their findings from using guided imagery with their patients in healthcare settings for many years. Quote, "About 1/4 of all people rarely or never see things in their mind, but they use other senses in imagery quite effectively. For the majority, however, the sense of vision is the most powerful." Similar terms. The term guided visualization usually refers to the same technique as guided imagery, but it can be misleading because all of the inner senses can be involved in the imagery experience, not just the visual sense. Guided meditation is also a term that usually refers to the same technique as guided imagery. But the term meditation, without guided before it, represents a variety of different techniques. Sometimes the participants direct their attention on a single point of focus, such as paying attention to the breath or a mantra, that is, a repeated sounds, words, or phrases, or a repeated prayer. In another type of meditation, the participants stay in an observing state of mind and watch their thoughts as they arise without any attachment to them. Some uses of guided imagery: to relax, to feel connected to an inner resource of wisdom and comfort and receive guidance on life issues, to explore possible ways to achieve life goals, to mentally rehearse the steps necessary to improve performance in sports, to promote healing. Types of imagery. Participants can be directed to consciously create a specific image, or guidance can be given to allow an image to spontaneously emerge. For example, a guided imagery script may start off with specific instructions for what to imagine, and then make the suggestion to allow an image to emerge, followed by a period of silence while participants observe their own internal imagery as it forms in their mind. An example of a guided imagery script. Think of a situation in your life that you would like some guidance on. Imagine that it is a sunny day and you are enjoying walking down a pretty path in a quiet park. There is wavy green grass and little yellow flowers all around. Imagine that as you look up ahead, you see a figure walking towards you. You are happy to see this figure and know that this figure has some important, helpful information to share with you. As this figure walks closer to you, you can see who it is. It may be someone who is familiar to you or someone comforting who you do not recognize. It may be an animal friend, or it can take the form of anything you like. Allow the image of this figure to emerge in your mind and spend some time talking with this helpful figure, listening to its loving guidance for you. Types of imagery. Sometimes realistic and biologically accurate images are used in guided imagery scripts. Sometimes the images are symbolic. In Rituals of Healing Using Imagery for Health and Wellness, 1994, Jean Achterberg, Barbara Dossi, and Leslie Kolkmeyer observed that the symbolic images used by their patients, such as a knight on a white horse, tended to be more powerful than biologically factual images, such as white blood cells. But the type of symbol that was best for each person to use was very individualistic. The symbol needed to be part of the person's own worldview and belief system. Types of imagery. Sometimes guided imagery scripts use process imagery and guide participants to imagine each step to be performed in order to achieve a desired goal. For example, many top athletes use imagery to improve their performance. Jack Nicklaus, a golf great, is often quoted, "I never hit a shot, not even in practice, without having a very sharp, in-focus picture of it in my head. First, I see the ball where I want it to finish, nice and white and sitting up high on the bright green grass. Then the scene quickly changes and I see the ball going there, its path, trajectory, and shape, even its behavior on landing. Then there is a sort of fade out, and the next scene shows me making the kind of swing that will turn the previous images into reality." Types of imagery. Sometimes end-state imagery is used, where the participants imagine just the final desired goal. Usually participants are given instructions to really feel and sense that they have already achieved their goal. For example, before he was a champion, Wayne Gretzky, a hockey great, saw himself holding up the Stanley Cup, the championship trophy awarded to the National Hockey League playoff winner. He said, "We taped a lot of famous pictures on the locker room doors. Bobby Orr, Felix Potvin, John Bellevue, all holding the Stanley Cup. We'd stand back and look at them and envision ourselves doing it. I really believe if you visualize yourself doing something, you can make that image come true. I must have rehearsed it 10,000 times, and when it came true, it was like an electric jolt went up my spine." People differ in the way they image. People experience differences in the primary sense modality of their images, the level of vividness of their images, the degree of control they have over their images. Can imaging ability be improved? In their journal article, Merrick and Merrick, 1993, reported that, quote, although individuals vary in their ability to produce mental images and to feel comfortable with imagery, these are skills that can be improved through teaching and practice. Sheik and Molesky, 1985, mentioned that, quote, in some cases, the inability to image may be a function of an individual's defensive blocks or resistances. Such resistances need to be identified and understood before imaging can take place. The relaxation response. Dr. Herbert Benson is a pioneer in mind-body medicine. His book, The Relaxation Response, was published in 1975 and helped to bring awareness to the interconnection between the body and thoughts and emotions. Dr. Benson found that participants enhance their guided imagery experiences by relaxing beforehand. Relaxation techniques. Most guided imagery sessions begin with some sort of relaxation technique. Usually, the participants are asked to find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. They may close their eyes or keep them gently open. Next, the participants may be asked to become aware of their breathing and do a few repetitions of breathing in and out very deeply. Progressive muscle relaxation. One type of relaxation technique is called progressive muscle relaxation, developed by Edmund Jacobson in the 1920s. In this technique, the participant progresses through each major muscle group of the body, at first tensing, holding for a few seconds, and then relaxing the muscles until the entire body is relaxed. Progressive muscle relaxation. There will be a guided imagery experience a little later on in this presentation, and we will begin it with a progressive muscle relaxation technique to help us get nice and relaxed, which will then help our internal imagery process. Music. Sometimes guided imagery is accompanied by soothing, peaceful music, or by natural sounds, such as ocean waves washing up to the shore or the sounds of a babbling brook. But some researchers have found that relaxing music may not be the best choice for a guided imagery experience if the participant wants to process certain emotional issues or feel motivated to take action once the session is completed. Depending on the type of music, the guided imagery experience can be influenced in very different ways. Guided imagery and healing. The Academy for Guided Imagery and the Healing Mind. Dr. Marty Rossman spent 30 years exploring how the mind and body work together to create health. He compiled an extensive body of research that demonstrates the effectiveness of guided imagery with many medical conditions. In 2004, Dr. Marty Rossman retired as the director of the Academy for Guided Imagery, which he co-founded with Dr. David Bressler. Dr. Rossman's most recent work can be found on his new website, The Healing Mind. A quote from the Academy for Guided Imagery website summarizes Dr. Rossman's research. Quote, imagery has profound physiological consequences, and the body tends to respond to imagery as it would to a genuine external experience. Imagery has been shown to affect almost all major physiologic systems of the body, including respiration, heart rate, blood pressure, metabolic rates in cells, gastrointestinal mobility and secretion, sexual function, cortisol levels, blood lipids, and even immune responsiveness. A search for guided imagery in scholarly journals, peer-reviewed, from 4 medicine and health databases with full text from 2005 to 2015 produced 288 articles. Some of the health issues that guided imagery was found to be effective with include asthma, cancer, breast, prostate, thyroid, chemotherapy side effects, chronic low back pain, chronic neck pain, chronic tension headache, depression, end-of-life concerns, fibromyalgia, hypertension, immune system functioning, inflammatory bowel disease, non-suicidal self-injury, obesity, pregnancy and childbirth, pre-operative anxiety, stress reduction. Using guided imagery in a hospital setting. The article, Using Guided Imagery in a Hospital Setting, published in 2013 in Alternative and Complementary Therapies, was written by David Wood, M.D., the Chief Medical Officer of the Beaumont Health System and the Interim Director of the Beaumont Cancer Institute in Royal Oak, Michigan, and Gail Patricio, the Director of Integrative Medicine at the Beaumont Health System. The authors describe how guided imagery has been incorporated into their integrative medicine program at their hospital. Quote, in the Beaumont Health System, an integrative medicine program has been in place for more than 9 years. Guided imagery is a core component of the IM program. Substantial time and effort was spent educating physicians and medical professionals about guided imagery and the benefits associated with its use. Continuing with using guided imagery in a hospital setting. Quote, the Beaumont Health System utilizes guided imagery extensively with patients dealing with oncology issues and has also administered guided imagery recordings as part of an employee wellness program. The recordings have also been used with new mothers as well as patients seen in the urology, cardiology, and orthopedic departments. Guided imagery also has an important role for people who bear the responsibility of caring for loved ones. Caregivers can use guided imagery themselves to decrease their own stress and anxiety and help them cope with negative emotions. Continuing with using guided imagery in a hospital setting, quote, a patient may be referred by the sleep clinic for a guided imagery session. Then a guided imagery recording of the session can be given to a patient to continue the intervention at home. The Beaumont Health System has guided imagery recordings that can be used as part of a smoking cessation program. Guided imagery can be particularly useful for nurses who are experiencing increased levels of stress as their workloads continue to increase. Cautionary notes. For the vast majority of individuals, guided imagery is a safe technique without any harmful side effects. However, it should be used with caution or not used at all with individuals who have psychotic disorders, hallucinations, post-traumatic stress disorders, anyone who may display extreme negative emotional distress. Steps for creating your own healing guided imagery. Dr. O. Carl Simonton wrote the classic book, Getting Well Again. Dr. Simonton was a radiation oncologist who popularized the mind-body connection in fighting cancer. He helped guided imagery gain acceptance in mainstream medicine. In 1984, Simonton founded the Simonton Cancer Center, which is a leader in the mind-body approach for treating cancer patients. The center's integrated program was among the first of its kind in the world. The Simonton method focuses on the interaction between the mind and the body, how beliefs, attitudes, lifestyle choices, spiritual and psychological perspectives can dramatically affect our health, the course of our disease, and our overall well-being. In her book, Imagery and Healing, Jean Achterberg linked modern scientific research with the practice of shamans to demonstrate that imagery has been used since ancient times as a powerful healing tool. Early in her career, Jean collaborated with Dr. O. Carl Simonton to study the quality of imagery in cancer patients. Jean elaborated on Dr. Simonton's work by helping patients work with symbolic images for their pain and disease, and she also encouraged patients to draw their images on paper after they finished their guided imagery exercises. The steps Dr. Simonton recommended to help patients deal with their pain and heal their ailments, plus Jean Achterberg's suggestion to draw the imagery, are: complete a relaxation technique. Create a mental picture of any ailment or pain that you have. Imagine it in a form that makes sense to you. It can be a symbolic image. Picture any treatment you are receiving. It can be a symbolic image, and see it either eliminating the source of the ailment, pain, and/or strengthening your body's ability to heal itself. Picture your body's natural defenses and natural processes eliminating the source of the ailment, pain. This can be a symbolic image. Imagine yourself healthy and free of the ailment, pain. Slowly open your eyes and draw your images interacting. This drawing was not done by one of Dr. Simonton's or Jean Achterberg's patients, but it is an excellent example of the artist following Dr. Simonton's steps. This drawing is from Fighting Cancer with Images by Penny H. Barron in Advances in Art Therapy that was edited by Harriet Wadeson, Jean Durkin, and Doreen Perrak in 1989. If you look at this wonderful drawing, you can see that the figures are interacting, and below the drawing it is explained that this is Karen's image for her tumor that's in the center, the chemotherapy treatment that are the arrows, and the immune system that are the men with the shovels. The tumor is more of a biological image, while the chemotherapy and the immune system are more symbolic images. You can see that they are all interacting together, and there's a dotted line arrow that points to the immune system men in the lower right-hand corner, and they're celebrating as the cancer treatment is a success. If you wanted to create your own guided imagery script so that you could guide someone else through their imagery experience, or record your own self speaking the guided imagery script so that you could play it back and listen to it as you enter your experience, you would include these parts. You'd include a relaxation, an introduction, the actual healing imagery, and then the ending. When you do your relaxation before your guided imagery, begin by asking participants to find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down. They may close their eyes or keep them gently open. Next, suggest that participants become aware of their breathing and do a few repetitions of breathing in and out very deeply. Then you can begin your guided imagery experience or choose to do a relaxation technique that you enjoy, such as the progressive muscle relaxation technique that we discussed earlier in this presentation. For your guided imagery script, be sure to use words that will help your imagery come alive. Use words that will stimulate the inner senses of sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, and movement. You will also want to choose words that will evoke a deep and sincere feeling within the imagery experience. You don't need to utilize all of the inner senses, but the more real your imagery seems, and the more deeply felt the experience, the more effective the imagery usually is. When you begin your guided imagery, it's not necessary, but it can be useful to begin the imagery process with a brief introduction that helps focus attention inward and sets the stage for the healing imagery to come. For example, lifting up in a hot air balloon. You might begin with a suggestion to see a hot air balloon off in the distance. Walk over to it, and as you get closer, you notice all the vibrant colors on the balloon. Imagine yourself hopping up and getting into the nice, sturdy, hot air balloon basket. The balloon slowly, very slowly, starts to rise up into the sky. You're now going higher and higher. You can see further and further off into the distance. Feel a slight cool breeze on your face as your balloon takes you over the pretty landscape below. And then slowly, your balloon begins to descend back down to the earth below, and you gently land in a wonderful, healing, peaceful place. Another introduction could be walking down a path. Imagine that you are starting off on a new adventure. You are excited to experience new and wonderful things. Up ahead, there's a pretty path, and you decide to begin your journey. As you walk along the path, notice what's around you. Are you entering a meadow with small purple flowers waving in the breeze? Or does your path take you into a shady forest, alive with singing birds and busy squirrels? Perhaps your path takes you near a rocky cliff, and when you arrive at the summit, it seems as if you can see forever. Wherever your path takes you, it is the perfect destination just for you. And one more example of an introduction could be being in a special place. So imagine that you could build your own special sacred space. What would that look like to you? What type of space would you like to enter to feel renewed and comforted? What type of space could you enter to feel at peace and connected to a divine, loving presence? Imagine building your own special place right now. Is it a small, private chapel with beautiful stained glass windows? Or is it a lovely bench outside where you feel connected to the nature around you? Construct your special place in your mind's awareness and know that you can enter this healing space whenever you wish. After your short introduction, you can begin your healing imagery. Some healing guided imagery experiences are just relaxing, allowing the body and mind to quiet down and enabling the natural healing resources within the body to do their healing work. You could describe a relaxing scene, for example, being at the beach. You could imagine that you're walking along the shore, the ocean waves are rushing in and then going back out. The water itself is sparkling blue, little white foamy caps on the waves as they come in. Your feet are walking in a warm sand, and looking up, the sun shining golden down on you, warming your whole body. There's also a cool breeze that you feel once in a while that crosses your face. And off in the distance you can hear the seagulls chatting, the smell of the salty air. Or from the introduction where you've created your sacred space, you could invite in a divine, wise being and have that being sit next to you and commune with you, talk to you, be with you, discuss the things that trouble you, provide you some new insights, some comfort for what you're going through, and spend some time so that you're mentally and emotionally healed from the experience. Also, the wise being could give you ideas about your future, provide you with different guidance, suggestions that perhaps you wouldn't have thought of before. That can be a very powerful experience. Another type of healing imagery is where you would heal a specific ailment with process imagery. We spoke about process imagery earlier, and Dr. Simonton's steps could be thought of as process imagery. You would create a mental picture of your disease or ailment, and then you would create images that would represent your treatment and your body's natural defenses. And interestingly, if you complete this sort of guided imagery experience over time, you will likely experience that your imagery spontaneously changes as you get healthier and your body becomes more in balance, more in a state of homeostasis. Your imagery will change in terms of your ailment may become smaller or less powerful, less scary, and your treatment and your body defenses, they'll be represented by more images that are stronger and more vibrant. And the final healing imagery we're going to discuss is healing a specific ailment with end state imagery. And for this, you see yourself healthy. You see yourself having fun, doing the things that bring you joy in life. You don't worry about how you're going to get there. You don't have to image the steps necessary to get you to that point. You just focus on the end state, the real true happiness, gratefulness, bliss, enjoying your life absolutely to the fullest. And as we saw with the example of Wayne Gretzky when he was holding the Stanley Cup, it is very likely that by doing this sort of imagery and holding this positive image of yourself, that you will naturally be motivated to take actions that will assist this image to become manifested in your daily life. So after you've completed your healing imagery experience, it's nice to have an ending, a closing, a nice affirming that what you've done is going to manifest, a grounding that will bring you back to your alert state of consciousness, aware of the world around you and ready to go through your daily life. So you might say a phrase like, "This or something better for all concerned now manifests," which is a nice way of saying that you truly want the best for all, and sometimes we don't know what that is, so we're leaving it up to a higher wisdom. After our healing imagery experience, we can express our gratitude. We can say thank you to all the healing energies that have assisted us in the process. We can say, "Amen, it is so." And with that, we trust that we are truly healed. We trust that we are healed right now in this very moment. And then at the very end, we can suggest that we come back to the room, come back to the chair, Be aware of the body. Wiggle fingers and toes. And in our hearts, have that sense of gratefulness for this wonderful healing experience. And now to end our presentation, we're going to have a guided imagery experience. We will begin with the progressive muscle relaxation technique that we previously discussed, and then we'll go into our healing guided imagery. So if you are in a situation now where you can get comfortable, either sitting or lying down, gently close your eyes and take in a nice big breath of air in through your nose, and then exhale through your mouth like you're blowing out a candle. Inhale nice and deep through your nose, and then exhale, blowing out through your mouth. Inhale and exhale through your mouth. That's great. Now take your attention down to your feet, down to all 10 toes. And as best as you can, tighten up all of your toes on both feet, as best as you can in your shoes or sneakers. Feeling the tension in your toes. And then release. Relax them. Wiggle them around a little if you want. We're going to begin to release any tension in our body and let it flow down and out through the toes into the earth below. Now bring your attention a little up onto your calves, both legs, the lower parts of your legs, and tighten up your calves. It can be gentle, but feeling a little tension there as best as you can. The lower parts of both of your legs, feeling the tension and holding it and releasing it. Relax. Relax the calf muscles, and any tension is going to flow down and out through the toes into the ground. Let's move up now to your thighs. Again, the thighs of both legs, as best as you can. Tighten them up, gathering up any stress that's in those muscles, tightening it, feeling it, and release, relax. Maybe move your legs around a little bit, letting any tension flow down and out. And then go up to your hiney area where you sit. Let's tense up those muscles there. Tighten them up. Feeling that tension. Holding. And release. Relax. Any stress there is flowing down and out. Now let's focus on your back. Let's do the lower, middle, and upper part of the back all at the same time. So tense up now the lower, middle, and upper parts of your spine, tensing up those muscles as best you can. Not too tight, but just so you can feel it. Gathering those muscles together, tight, 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 and then release. Relax them. Move around a little bit, letting any tension flow down through the legs and out the toes into the ground. Come around now to the front of your body, to your belly, to your stomach. Again, gentle, but still tense up the muscles in your tummy. Feeling those muscles tight, 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 and release. Relax. Relax those muscles in the tummy. Travel up now to your shoulders. As best as you can, tighten up the muscles in your shoulders. You can scrunch them up a little bit towards your ears if you want. Tighten up those muscles, really feel it. Feel the tension gathered there. And relax, release. Release those shoulder muscles, moving them around a little bit. You might allow that tension to flow down through your arms and out your fingertips. You might even begin to feel your fingertips tingling as that energy is released. And then your arms now, both arms and the lower and upper at the same time. Tense up all the muscles in both arms as best as you can, tightening those muscles, feeling the tension there. And that's great, and relax those arms, letting any tension flow down through your hands now and out the fingertips. And then if you want, curl in your fingertips and make tight fists with both hands. So as best as you can, tighten up the muscles in both hands right now, feeling the tension there, gathering it all up, feeling it in your wrists and your hands. Very good. And relax, release. Release those muscles. Very good. Go back up now. Go to your throat, the area around the throat and the neck. As best as you can, tighten up those muscles. Gently, but feel the tension gathered up there. Good, and release, relax. Move your neck around a little if you want. Go up to the muscles around the face now. You might scrunch up your nose or tighten up your jaw. You might try to get those muscles above your eyes and the forehead tightened up. As best as you can, tighten up the muscles in your face. Feeling it? Great, and release them. Relax. Now scan your body. Is there any place left that you'd like to tighten up? Any place left with any remaining tension? Tighten up that part of the body right now. Feeling the tension there. Great, and release it. Relax. Your whole body feeling relaxed, comfortable, wonderful. Now I'd like you to imagine that in front of you, you begin to see a fine mist forming. A little area of a fine, gentle mist. It's getting larger and larger, and it's becoming like a gentle cloud, soft edges, and it's made up of this beautiful, slightly glowing mist, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and it begins to move, and it comes towards you, and it feels so comforting. There's even a sense of warmth within this cloudy mist. And it comes over you, and it's over your head now. It's still getting bigger. And pretty soon, your whole body is enveloped in this cloud of a fine mist. It feels so secure, so special, so comforting with this mist all around you. And you begin to see within the mist these little sparkling lights, tiny little lights. They're sort of dashing to and fro, back and forth, coming into your view and then vanishing again. A light here, a little light there. They seem like little happy lights. And there's more and more of them. They seem alive. They seem conscious. They seem like they want to help you in some way. So scan your body. Is there any place that could use some healing now? Is there any place that could use some healing light right now? I'd like to ask you to invite these little lights to actually come into your body. Invite them in if you want to. Say, go to this area of my body and heal it, please, for me. I no longer need this disease or ailment or pain. It's served its purpose. I've learned the lesson. Please heal me. Help me be whole and holy. And imagine that these little lights gently enter into your body. And they're like little workers working their magic, going on and off, to and fro, cleaning, healing, doing what they need to do to take care of your body. Your body might begin to tingle and feel a little different as the pain or illness is being released. It's just sort of being taken away. It's not there any longer. And if you want, you can ask these little lights to fill up your whole body. They know what they're doing. They're these wonderful, high consciousness little lights. And they can fill up your body, filling it up with light from a higher wisdom, a higher love and knowing. And they're getting things flowing. They're getting your energy field vibrant, healthy, in the best flow possible. Tingling all around, these happy little dancing lights. You can ask for healing for some thoughts you've been having, some emotions, perhaps worry, some anxiety. Ask these little lights to heal your thoughts and emotions as well. And they're going to those areas of the thoughts where they might be held in your energy field, and they're going to the areas where those little bit of darker emotions are. They're lighting them up. They're healing them. They're making them whole, even holy. You feel lighter and happier, and you thank these little lights. Thank you so much. Thank you for entering my field, cleansing me, healing me. These little lights are sort of giggling, saying you're very, very welcome, you beautiful soul. And you can imagine that they're leaving your field now, but they'll never be far. You can call on them whenever you want. So these little lights go back into the mist that's still around you. They're sort of flickering off now one by one, winking, smiling, little lights saying goodbye for now, but we'll be close whenever you need us. And imagine that this mist, this beautiful cloud of mist, is rising back up over your head, moving again to where you can see it in front of you. It's starting to get smaller and smaller, and soon it vanishes from your sight. And when you feel ready, you can begin to open your eyes. Perhaps wiggle your fingers and toes. Come back to your regular senses and know that something wonderful has happened. You do feel lighter and healthy and whole. Many blessings. Thank you for joining me for this presentation on the healing benefits of guided imagery. The references for this presentation follow. May your powerful mind help you create your good health.